Okay, so the first character that we have on this list of characters that just under-delivered and just suck in general in Exedra is Holy Mami. I don't get why they made her so bad. Her kit's really weird. It's like, okay, she's built on the fact that she needs multiple enemies, and that's fine because Alina does the same thing where she gets extra buffs if there's multiple enemies. I think, yeah, her base kit is kind of similar to Mami's, where they get additional buffs depending on how many extra enemies there are. Unlike Alina, however, Alina doesn't rely on multiple enemies because her break damage alone is really great. She's arguably the best breaker in the game. I would say she's best breaker in the game. She's the best standard breaker for sure. She's better than... Is she better than Pluvia Clara? I think she might be better than Pluvia Clara, depending on the situation. She's definitely better than the Cherry Blizzard. I don't remember the Flute sister names. Yeah, she's definitely better than them. She's better than Idaha. But Mami doesn't have that because, firstly, Mami's kit relies on her having multiple enemies, and then when you kill an enemy, she loses her buffs. So that's already quite bad. So she's only useful in PvP. But then if you go to a single target boss, she just sucks because her damage is so bad. Like, if you look at this recording right here, my damage is so bad that my Eternal Sakura does more damage. Which makes sense, Eternal Sakura is good. But she's never meant to be used as a DPS. She's only used as a sub-DPS due to her crit buffs. So this is concerning. Like, yeah, check. The ult does negative damage right here. I don't even get how they let this character roam freely. Because it's like they were trying to build like Zila in Exedra, Zila from HSR into Exedra, but they just did it really badly and in reverse. So I don't get what's Holy Mami's deal. And on top of that, she's competing against Time Stop Strike Homura and Devil Homura for the same type of role, because Devil Homura, even though she's basically single target except for ult, her ult gives her follow-up attack, basically makes her not single target, and then Devil Homura just is the best attacker in the entire game. So I don't get what's the deal. Like, if they ever buff characters, I hope they buff Holy Mami, because this character deserves it. This character was hyped. I never pulled on her. I just got her randomly, but she was hyped. And no need to have this dog water kit. Okay, so while on the topic of characters who fill a specific niche, we have Koito. Yeah, Koito kind of sucks, not gonna lie, because okay, so she's a defender who requires you to... Okay, she wants to get hit. Does she want to get hit? No, she wants to... it's really hard to explain. Basically, she's a defender who both heals your team and defends your team. Her gauge gives her healing. Gives you healing, and her shields are good. They're not the best. They're definitely worse than, who was it? Kikida's shields. But her shields are quite decent. However, the main issue lies in the fact that, okay, this isn't much of a big deal, but she's a lot like Kaide, where she can only shield three of your allies at once, up to 3. The second issue is that you kind of don't want to play her, because her shielding isn't the best in the world. You'd rather not play her. And her buff isn't the greatest either. I think, I need to read her kit. I'm pretty sure it's a speed buff or an attack buff. Because compared to someone like Kikida, who gives crit damage, attack reduction, defense reduction, etc., 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 why would you want to play that? Genuinely. So, it's just... And on top of it all, she's auto-play friendly. She's not auto-play friendly. And trust me, we will get to another character who does something very similar to Koito very soon. Okay, so the next unit that we're talking about are the Monogatari crossover units, but specifically, what's the, I don't even know the shielder's name, I just know that I use her a lot. So yeah, her name will be edited in, but basically, yeah, her kit, it's basically Koito, except better, but still kind of bad, because yeah, they honestly did not try these collab units. I honestly think she might be the worst one. At least, okay, Shinobu's an attacker, and I think she's just better in every single way. Like, I can't explain. The Monogatari units are quite bad. I know the Breaker is the best one. The Breaker's the best, although she's not autoplay friendly. Shinobu is halfway decent. The Shielder honestly kind of sucks. Her shields don't do much. She doesn't have much shielding. Her buff is basically a better Koito, but it's still quite bad. And she doesn't heal as much as Koito. She lacks the assist that Koito has on top of that. And finally, it's honestly her ult doesn't do much either. She kind of struggles in everything. Like, if you wanted to use a defender, oh, and on top of that, she's Aqua, which means she's competing with Sayaka, who's standard, and you probably have Ascension 5, so you'd rather be using Sayaka than you would be using her. So, it honestly kind of sucks that they made a crossover unit this bad. I wish they made it better, because this was also a first anniversary unit. But hey, we get what we get, and honestly, in some situations she can be good. I made her quite good in some teams, so there's at least that. So yeah, we have to hope that when we get more crossover units, they don't make them as dog water as this. But yeah, shield's not good, buff not good, and ult takes ages to do, and her healing is not great. So yeah, kind of sucks. Okay, so the next unit we're talking about is someone who was very hyped since day one of the game, Nagisa. Yeah, she's probably the worst 5-star healer in the entire game. And for good reason, by the way. Her healing kind of sucks. She gives healing in the form of a buff and regen. Regen is quite a bad buff. Because if boss nullifies regen, you basically will die. She's also just kind of bad at her job. I mean, her follow-up attack takes 6 gauges, and she only fills up gauge by either breaking or by using her skill. So honestly, that's already quite bad. And then to top it all off, you have better options. Like, you could use Mitama for debuffs. She's definitely not better than Kaide. If you have her, you can use Patisserie. You can use Valentine's Mami, Patisserie Mami. If you use your free coin, you can use what's her name? Isn't it Rika or something? I don't know. The Christmas healer. I forgot her name. But yeah, just you would never use Nagisa because her only good thing is she gives follow-up buffs. They're permanent buffs as long as she's active on the field, I'm pretty sure. But like, you would just never use her, just straight up. She sucks. In every single scenario, you'd rather use another healer. And honestly, I feel bad, because this was a very hype unit whose kit was very undertuned on release. Okay, so the final unit that we have to talk about today that just completely sucks is standard banner Kyoko, Kukatachi Kyoko. Yeah, honestly, this might be if Halloween Alina did not exist, she may have been the worst attacker in the entire game, and it's not even close. Because, okay, so she doesn't have good stats, and she's single target, which already hurts her. On top of that, she's competing now with Monoka, who is probably the best fire damage healer. Yeah, it's just that already sucks. Because that means she can't be used on the mono flame team. But then on top of that, her buff is hidden behind a stupid mechanic where your boss has to reach like 450% break. And if your boss doesn't reach 450% break, Kyoko will do no damage. But let's say if you do get the buff, like, you still do negative damage. I'm just gonna cut out a bit of the video just so you can see how much damage she does. Like, oh my god, Kyoko actually just straight up sucks. I do not get why the devs designed her to play it. They hated Kyoko for so long until Christmas came around when they made Christmas Kyoko. But yeah, I don't get why this unit just sucks. It also might be because I'm using a bad team, but that's besides the point. It's just that at any time you'd be using Kyoko, you'd be rather using Momoko. And if you don't want to be using the Mono Flame, don't play Mono Flame. Because you could just be playing something else. Oh my god. This character makes me so mad. But yeah, if you think I've missed anyone, put them in the comments. I think I missed out Dark and Sana. Not Final Form Dark, normal Dark. Yeah, I think I missed them out. But apart from that, yeah. Put anyone else in the comments that you think just sucked on release.